Welcome, everyone. We're here at Tasker Arena, not ready for varsity action yet. We do have the JV game going on right now. The Hobbs Eagles taking on Clovis. Wildcats leading this one in the fourth quarter, 54-36, so up by 18, about 4:38 left, about halfway through the fourth. Of course, the varsity game coming up next, and big battle for Hobbs in this one because losing to Roswell on Tuesday night, that puts them in a tie with the Coyotes. I talked to one of the assistant coaches last night, and he pretty much has the whole theory of the team right now is they got to win out the rest of the district to make sure they hold on to that number one seed. And, again, still have Carlsbad next week to finish up the schedule and Clovis tonight. So there's a lot of work to have done here with the regular district schedule before the district tournament, which is still going to be underway the following week. So big game tonight again. Roswell moved up in the rankings, too. They're up at number 4 now in the Max Preps. They were at 5 before, beat the Eagles, and then moved up 1. So that gives them some credit there. And, of course, their record pretty stellar, too, just like the Eagles are. Big-time wins up this season for Roswell. They're currently sitting at 19-5-0. Of course, the Eagles at 24-1. So right now just one game ahead in terms of the overall win-loss record, but both teams tied in the district standings with that 3-1. So lots of good basketball upcoming. Again, JV game right now, 3:45 left, fourth quarter. Clovis leading Hobbs 54-38, 16-point lead. And we'll come back here in just a few minutes with our pregame show for Hobbs varsity versus Clovis. We are also going to be live in Clovis tonight, getting a little bit of a simulcast going on, too. And in terms of that, we will be going live in the Clovis radio market, I believe. I'm not sure about the internet side, but they're going to be on 99.9 FM and 1240 AM in Clovis. So lots of people listening tonight around the state, and we'll enjoy it with you here in just a few minutes with the pregame show here on Cool 95.7 on the radio, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, the Cool 95.7 Facebook page, and in Clovis on the radio, 99.9 FM and 1240 AM. Hey, welcome back here on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, also on YouTube and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. I've not started the pregame show quite yet for the Hobbs-Clovis game. They are having senior night before the warm-up session, so they're just having the players come out on the court right now. As you see coming across the midcourt, and now with his parents, of course, the big center for the Hobbs Eagles, Parker Henderson, 7 foot tall, 240 pounds. Of course, he's going to definitely be at the college level next year. Not quite sure where he might commit yet, but still doing a superb job in terms of helping out the Eagles post-game. He is averaging 11.8 points a contest during district, and also second leading rebounder on the squad as well, as he's got about 6 rebounds a game in district. So that is Parker Henderson. He's one of our seniors. Guard Amari McGahey is coming up next on the court, senior guard for the Hobbs Eagles. And he comes in at the guard positions off the bench, and he's had some great games. Well, I think his biggest scoring efforts was 9 points earlier this season. Could stroke the outside tray, play some defense, set up the offense for the Eagles, and he is with his family now in the middle of the court. So one of the guards that will be graduating this year. Of course, he's had some sisters that have played before him. In different sports, softball, volleyball, etc. So he's got a lot of sports in the family, and his dad, of course, is a referee for basketball and softball in the Lee County area. Should mention back to Parker Henderson, I know his mom used to play college basketball at University of Utah several years back, so definitely has some blood in the family in terms of basketball throughout the years. Peyton Hodge, of course, the next player up for the Hobbs Eagles. He is a starter, of course, averaging 10.8 points a game during district and 3 rebounds a contest. Probably has one of the quickest first steps in the state of New Mexico. Can take it hard to the rack. He didn't get to play last season, but came into this season, had to sit out a few games, and was back on the squad around the Hobbs Holiday Tournament time, and has been a big asset to the team up to this point. And again, very fast kid out there. Hodge went perfect on the free throw line against Roswell Tuesday night, was 4 for 4. And one of the leaders in terms of three-point shots this season as well for the Eagles. He's got 16, which puts him about tied for third on the squad from the outside shot. Of course, Abraham Pena, top scorer on the team for the district. He is 22.3 a contest in 4 games in terms of scoring, averaging 2.5 rebounds a game. Definitely has the stroke when it comes to the three-point shot as he leads the team shooting from the perimeter. Currently at 42 trays. The closest guy to him is a sophomore, Lyric Soria, with 25, so definitely the leader in the outside shot, and he's had several games, 30-plus. Always going to be one of your leading scorers out of the court and team leader for the squad. Definitely has a future as a basketball player wherever he decides to play in the college ranks. Brock Beatty, of course, the football quarterback for the Hobbs High squad. See some spot time in games. A very physical player, another post presence for the Eagles. Can put a body on you, play some tough D. Didn't play basketball last year for the Eagles, but came on the team this year along with his brother Braddock Beatty. Of course, Braddock's just a junior, so he has another year left. But real cool job with the Hobbs football team last few seasons making the playoffs, and the Eagles have really got their program turned around. Every year they make it to the playoffs and show something out there on the gridiron. But a nice asset to the team in terms of physicality as well in the paint. Again, that's Brock Beatty. His brother out there now with his family in the middle of the court. And they have one more senior. 6 seniors graduating this year for the Eagles. Jairus Turbiatis. I got a feeling he has to be the leader in double-doubles this season. He's had several games, 13, 16 rebounds, several games of double-digit points as well to go with the double-double. 6'5", 173. This kid has a lot of energy, gets up and down the court, dives after basketballs, blocks shots, and then goes scores at the other end. He's definitely a kid you have to keep up with the whole game. You don't want him dominating you. You got to be right in his shorts. Hard to keep up with him, though. Jairus Turbiatis, in terms of the district, is averaging 9.3 points a game and 11.3 rebounds. So if he just get about one more point a contest, he would be a double-double average in the 4 games he's played so far this season. But still a couple games left. Clovis and, of course, Carlsbad next week. And definitely a guy you want to have. Probably one of the most coachable players on the squad. Always a good emotions out there, and keeps his kids the players that he plays with in good emotions when they're on the court. So those are the seniors. It is senior night here at Tasker Arena. They will have a road game next week, so that's why they're doing the ceremony here tonight. More than likely we'll have some home games during the district tournament. But, again, that hasn't been seeded yet. Still a couple of games left in the regular season. Hobbs Eagles get ready to take on Clovis tonight here, next to last district game. We'll have it here in just a few minutes with the pregame show. You're listening live and watching live on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, Cole 95.7. And in terms of the radio tonight, we are also in Clovis at 99.9 FM and 1240 AM. For our listeners in Clovis, we'll be going on live with the pregame show here in just a minute. Welcome, everyone, to Tasker Arena. Time for Hobbs Eagle basketball. Live on the radio at Cool 95.7, on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. And for our friends in Clovis, we are live tonight on the radio, 99.9 FM at 1240 AM. Ty Friend here with you tonight. I've got my wife on with me as Allison Friend on the camera and my daughter Jessica Friend on the scoreboard for you as we'll bring you this big matchup between the Hobbs Eagles and the Clovis Wildcats. Manuel back at the station doing all the tech stuff for us and getting us caught up on scores, etc. So it's going to be a jam-packed night of basketball and a critical game for both teams, especially for the Hobbs Eagles. They lost to Roswell on Tuesday, so they have the same record as the Roswell Coyotes at 3-1. Clovis, on the other hand, needs a win out of the district. They're currently 0-4. So it's getting down to the crunch time as two more games remain for all the teams in the district. Of course, the Eagles did play Roswell Tuesday night and lost a hard-fought battle in that one, 79-69. A pretty close game from the start, although Hobbs gave up a deficit 19-10 at the end of the first quarter. A big difference in the game was free throws. Hobbs shooting 9 of 10 for 90%, one of their best showings of the season, but Roswell shot 34 for 42, 80%. That means they shot 32 more free throws in that ball game and still got the 10-point victory. So Hobbs had to do a better job of adjusting to some of the foul calls, some tight stuff, hand checks, etc., and just couldn't get on track in terms of that, and unfortunately losing by the 10-point margin. Although Abraham Pena lit it up with 26 points in that game, he definitely was helping the team's cause. In the fourth quarter, he was 3 for 3 on the line. Also, he hit 3 other baskets, including a three-pointer, had 10 points in the fourth quarter. 2 for 3 in terms of or 2 3-pointers in the game, and also perfect on the charity stripe, 4 for 4. Other scores for the Eagles in double digits. Parker Henderson finishing with 12 points. He did foul out in the fourth quarter. He had 3 rebounds. And it was Jairus Turbiatis with a double-double, 11 points and 13 rebounds in that contest. He hit a tray as well. Again, we had some good free throw shooting, though. 4 for 4 for Pena. And also 4 for 4 for Peyton Hodge. He was just shy of double at 9 points as he was perfect on the charity stripe and hit the three-point shot as well with 2 rebounds. Hobbs had 24 boards in the contest compared to 21 for Roswell. And, of course, led by Turbiatis with those 13 glass rip downs. Henderson and Beatty both getting 3 rebounds apiece. And finally, looking at three-point shots, Hobbs able to knock down 6 trays in the ball game. And unfortunately, though, Roswell had 2 more with 8. Turnovers were even at 14 apiece. Hobbs had a lot more early part of the ball game heading into the second quarter. Roswell started evening it up in terms of their turnovers in the second half. But, again, both had 14 in the game. It was 19-10 at the end of one. Hobbs had got it down to a 5-point deficit at halftime, 32-27. But 26 points dumped in by Roswell in the third quarter compared to 23 for the Eagles. Put Roswell back up by 8. 58-50. And to finish off the game, Roswell had 21 points to 19 for the Eagles, thus the 10-point victory. And boy, did Jacob Palomino have a big game for Roswell. He hit 31 points in that game and was 20 of 21 in terms of free throws. So lots of opportunities every quarter. He was stroking. In fact, the only miss he had was late in the fourth quarter, kind of ironically. Throughout the rest of the game, he was perfect. Also 20 points from Jeremy Sombrano and 18 for Rylan Saraceno. They're the top 3 scorers for Roswell. Again, they shot 80% from the line with those 42 free throw attempts and had the 8 trays in the ball game. So with the loss for the Eagles, again, 3-1 in district, the same with Roswell. Roswell has a critical game tonight as well. They've got Carlsbad, so we'll be trying to track that one. And then, of course, the Eagles wrap up with Carlsbad next week on the road. That'll be a week from tonight, so they'll have a week to prepare for that one, that game in Carlsbad. Last time these two teams played, Hobbs in Clovis at Rock Stoppers Gym, winning 71-59. Big night for Abraham Pena. He had 30 points, 4 3-pointers, and was perfect from the charity stripe at 6 for 6. So he definitely lit it up there on the Clovis floor with 3 rebounds as well. Also in double digits was Parker Henderson. A good game for him as well. 17 points and 7 rebounds for the big kid. He was 1 of 2 from the charity stripe. Those were the only 2 guys that got into double digits. Josiah Clay finished with 7, including a tray. And Jairus Turbiatis had enough rebounds for a double-double, but not the points. 16 boards and 6 points for number 44 for the Eagles. So those were the top scorers for Hobbs in that contest. Eagles went 8 of 11 for 72%. We're seeing a good trend of free throw shooting for Hobbs over the last few games in district, so that is a good sign for Hobbs at this point of the season with 2 games remaining. In fact, from the free throw stripe, Hobbs is shooting 75% against their 4 district opponents, 31 out of 41, although the district opponents, including the team they're playing tonight, Clovis, have combined for 80% from the line. They are 39 of 49 so far in the district schedule. So, again, that kind of gives you an idea of what we're looking at in terms of free throw production. Now, the Clovis Wildcats and the Eagles were tied at 10-10 in the first quarter. Hobbs got the lead to 7, 30-23 at halftime as they scored 20 points in the second quarter and just 13 for Clovis. Hobbs dumped in another 23 in the third quarter. Clovis again with 20. And finishing up the ball game, the Eagles had 18 in the fourth quarter and 16 for Clovis. So Hobbs getting the 12-point win. That's been kind of a trend for the Wildcats this season, losing in double-digit games throughout the season. And this is the one they would like to try to turn around at Tasker Arena. Good production for Jaden Cox for Clovis. He had 21 points in the loss, 2 3-pointers, almost perfect on the charity stripe, 7 of 8. His first miss was his first attempt in the fourth quarter. He also had 5 rebounds, and that was pretty consistent about Clovis. They had lots of guys bringing down the glass shot for the rebounds there for their cause to put shots back up or to go into transition on the offense going the other way. Clifton Brown finished with 15 points. He had 3 3-pointers, almost perfect on the line as well, 4 for 5, and had 5 rebounds for the Wildcats. And it was also Luke Carpenter with 11 points. He hit 3 trays, 2 for 3 from the free throw line, and 3 rebounds. So once again, lots of guys getting on the boards. Cox with 5 boards, Brown with 5. Javier Jimenez didn't even score, but he had 5 rebounds. And then Luke Carpenter again with that 11 points. So 3 in double digits for the Wildcats. They were 13 of 16 from the free throw line and had the 29 rebounds, although they were 8 short of the Eagles in the game, but still some consistent rebounding across the board. 3-point shots in the favor of Clovis. They had 8 in the contest. We mentioned some of the guys that hit multiples, including Clifton Brown and Luke Carpenter, 3 apiece, and 2 for Jaden Cox. That was 1 better than what the Eagles had with 7. Turnover situation, Hobbs did a lot better job containing the basketball. They only had 6 turnovers in the game compared to 14 for Clovis, and that kind of was their undoing in the game, although it was pretty close, as we mentioned, in that first quarter and at halftime. Eagles extending to a double-digit lead as it waned on through the third and fourth quarters. So there's the tale of the taste between the two teams. Hobbs right now, again, trying to get the 21st win of the season and improve their district record to 4-1 as Clovis sits at 0-4. Now, this past week, the Carlsbad Cavemen picked off Clovis 58-43. In the first quarter, Carlsbad came out quickly, 16-5 in that game. And in the second half, though, Clovis got a 14-7, or second quarter, I should say, a 14-7 advantage over Carlsbad and trailed at the half 23-19, making it pretty close in that ball game. Then in the third quarter, though, Carlsbad hitting 5 trays from the outside and took a 10-point lead, 44-34. So they definitely were starting to get in the driver's seat as that got into the fourth quarter. So, again, a 15-point win for Carlsbad over Clovis. They will play again in February. Roswell, actually, that was their second game of the series, so they are done with those 2. But Roswell took on Clovis as well. They will play one more time, Clovis and Roswell, on February 21st. It was 69-50 the final in that one as Roswell winning by 19. Good second quarter for the Coyotes, 16-6 to take a big lead there. Although Clovis went 8 for 8 in the first half on the free throw line, but they only had 6 buckets go through the net, so that was the problem there. Offensive production wasn't where it needed to be, but free throws were doing well. Third quarter, Roswell got again 5 3-pointers in that third quarter, so there's spurts where teams are converting on their outside shot against Clovis's defense, and that led to 27 points for Roswell in the third quarter. Again, good scoring for Roswell. Saraceno, he had 10 points in the third, ended up with 16, couple of trays. Sombrano with 13 points, Palomino with 10. All those guys getting those double digits just like they did against the Eagles on Tuesday night. Clovis had Jaden Cox stepping up big. He had 18 in the losing cause against the Roswell Coyotes. The Wildcats come in averaging 57.5 points a game for the season, and they're giving up 61, so about 3.5 points more given to their opponent than what they've been scoring themselves. They're having some issues on the road, 1-9 so far. Their only win away was against Fort Sumner in house. They beat them by 8, 59-51. Wildcats better at home at 5-3. So we're getting ready for the introductions here at this major gym in New Mexico. And of course, that's Ralph Tasker Gym as we hear the Hobbs Eagle marching band and fight song coming. Or should we say the Taskovich band. Hobbs Eagles out on the court with their white uniforms, gold numbers, and black trim. Clovis has not made it to the hardwood. Now they're coming out with their black uniforms, ready for the introductions and the national anthem. We will take a 2-minute break and come back live with Hobbs Eagle Hoops versus Clovis, live on the Hobbs Eagle Network and on Clovis Radio at 99.9 FM and 1240 AM.
Clear.
We're back live here at Task Arena, Hobbs Eagle basketball on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. That's in Hobbs and Lee County. And in Clovis on the radio tonight, 99.9 FM at 1240 AM. Ty Friend here with you as the Hobbs Eagles get ready to take on the Clovis Wildcats. Wildcats come in with their record of 8-12 on the season. They're currently ranked 17 in the Max Preps poll with a strength of schedule of 13.8, 0-4 in district. Your Hobbs Eagles remain at number 2 on the Max Preps poll with their 20-4 record despite the loss against Roswell Tuesday. Have one of the best strength of schedules in the state. That's keeping them in the second spot, 15.7 in that category. Of course, we mentioned earlier that Roswell actually moved up a spot after beating the Eagles on Tuesday. They are currently at number 4. They're sitting at 19-5 at a 12.6 strength of schedule, tied with the Eagles, the top of the district, at 3-1. Carlsbad currently sitting at 12 in the Max Preps poll with their 16-8 record. And, of course, they're playing tonight against Roswell. Clovis at number 17. So all the district teams are in the top 20 in the 5A here in New Mexico. In terms of the Hobbs Eagles scoring so far in the district, Braddock Beatty, one of the starters for Hobbs, he is averaging 3.3 points a contest and 2.3 rebounds a game. He's one of the starters. Parker Henderson averaging double digits against the 4 games they've had so far, 11.8 points a game. He is second in scoring and also second in rebounding at 5.5 a game, again, in the district. It's Peyton Hodge. He's averaging close to 11 points a game at 10.8 and also 3.5 rebounds a contest and is 75% on the line, 6 of 8 from the charity stripe. Of course, Abraham Pena, the leader in terms of scoring for the season and in the district for the Eagles at 22.3 points a game, also averaging 2.5 rebounds. And get this, he is perfect in free throw shooting through 4 games of district, 12 for 12 from that charity stripe. Very good performance there for Abraham Pena. And last but not least, Jairus Turbiatis, he is averaging 9.3 points a game and 11.3 rebounds a contest in the district, also shooting 66% from the charity stripe. So he is just a couple of points away from averaging a double-double during the district. Some great numbers for Jairus Turbiatis. And those are the 5 starters for the Eagles. If you look at the point production for Hobbs in the district so far, they are averaging 70 points a ball game, 280 points. Their 4 opponents so far at 257, so they are 23 points less than the Eagles and averaging 64.3 a game. So Hobbs about 5.5 points more than their opponents so far throughout the district. Eagles are averaging 12.5 turnovers a game, and the other district opponents averaging 14 a game. So Eagles doing about a turnover and a half better than Roswell, Clovis, and of course Carlsbad. In the rebounding category, Eagles averaging 30 boards a game compared to their opponents in district at 23. Eagles do have a deficit in 3-point shots. They've got 22 converted this season in the district, 32 for their opponents. That's 10 more. And free throws, you mentioned earlier, Hobbs 75% of the line in district and their opponents at 80%. So we got the senior night going on for the Hobbs Eagles. Clovis is out on the court first. And they're going to have their jumper up against the 7-footer for Hobbs. That's going to be Jaden Cox, who stands at 6'2". So he's going to have to kind of get up on a ladder to take on the jumper we're going to see here in just a minute for the Hobbs Eagles. Clifton Brown, one of the other starters, he's at 6 foot. Luke Carpenter for the Clovis Wildcats. J.J. Seiss, mentioned Jaden Cox, their top scorer, and Jaden Tapia, the 5 starters for Clovis. Tip it to the backcourt pretty easily there for Abraham Pena to pull it down. He'll bring it across the timeline. We're underway at Task Arena. Hobbs and Clovis. 2-3 zone. Pass to Turbiatis, middle of the free throw line. Kicks out right. Peyton Hodge for a tray out the front of the rim. No good. And a quick rebound already for Clovis on the right block. That was Luke Carpenter. Throws it across the timeline to the left wing to Jaden Cox. Fires a 3 out the back of the rim. Ball loose in the paint. Knocked off the hands of Henderson, picked up at the free throw line by Seiss, kicks it out up top, 3 on the way off the back of the rim for Carpenter, and Pena comes down with the rebound on the near sideline. Goes it across the time stripe, over to Turbiatis on the left wing, fakes a 3, spin move, dumps it over to Henderson left corner. Up top to reset to Pena. Sends it down to the right blocks, fumbled by Turbiatis, fadeaway jumper from 15 on the right side. Outside the paint that time as he nails that fadeaway J. First score of the game is 2-0. In favor of the Hobbs Eagles. Quick passes across the timeline. Seiss on the left wing. He'll sit it up top. Hard dribble down the lane. Carpenter puts on the brakes at the free throw line. Returns it up top to Clifton Brown. Bounce pass to the right wing on the pivot now. In the hands of Tapia. Swing it to the left side to Brown. He spins. Lost the ball in front of the Hobbs Eagles student section left. Picks it back up. Tough D by Peyton Hodge. Returns to the timeline to Cox. Dribbles to the left side of the circle. The handoff to Brown. Brown pivots. Lost the ball for a second, able to pull it down and then kick it down in the left corner to Cox. Back it into Hodge. Pivoting, takes a step, sidewinder shot from the left corner, 3, no good. Rebound on the right block, spin by Tapia, fadeaway, no good. Off the back of the iron, gets his own rebound and sends it back up top. Gets ricocheted around a bit and picked up by Carpenter. Sends it back to the time stripe to Clifton Brown as he'll take on Beatty to the right wing. Stop and go. Dribbles through his legs to the middle of the paint. Reverse layup underneath. Scoop shot no good. Tip back up underneath on the right block and put down for the first bucket for Clovis. That's Clinton's first bucket of the ball game. And we've got a timeout already. Coach Ross doesn't like what he's seeing out there right now as Clovis had way too many offensive rebounds. It's still tied 2-2. 6 minutes remaining in the first. We'll take a 30-second break and come back live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube, and in Clovis on the radio, 99.9 FM and 1240 AM. Out of the timeout, it's Payton with a fadeaway on the right baseline. Tip back up and in as it comes off the rim off the left side of the iron by Henderson. His first bucket. Eagles up 4-2 here in the first. 5:35 remaining. Clovis basketball in the front court. A spin move up top for Brown. Sails it down to the right corner. A couple of slide dribbles. It looks like Cade Cockrell's in the game. They give it back to the right wing. Shot on the way for Cox from 15 off the back of the rim. Rebound at the free throw line for Pena, his second. Sends it ahead to a breaking Hodge off to the races. Lays it in with a scoop on the right glass. Quick pass for the transition for the Eagles, who now lead 6-2. Inbound deep left corner of the backcourt to Brown. Sends it to the timeline. Beating the Eagles across with a strong dribble. Luke Carpenter goes down the left side of the lane, gets it knocked out from behind by Turbiatis. And it will be Clovis basketball underneath their hoop on the left baseline. They trail 6-2, 5:08 remaining here in the first. Cox inbound, gets it into the left wing to Carpenter. Up top and a three on the way as he caught the ball. Jacks it up and Clifton Brown sends it through the net. His first bucket of the game for a tray, 6-5. Clovis has a 1-point deficit on the Eagles. Hobbs' biggest lead has been 4 here in the first quarter. In the front court to pass to the left wing to Beatty. Stops and shoots to the left elbow off the free throw line. Quick stop off the dribble and sends it off the glass for 2. Beatty with his first bucket. 4 scores so far for the Eagles, who lead 8-5. Coming down the lane to the other end, trying to do a double clutch is Clifton Brown. And it looked like Henderson got a piece of it. Brown tried to save it and went off his fingertips on the right baseline out of bounds. So it was a little bit of a blocked shot there. No turnover on the play, just not getting a handle on the rebound. Beatty will take the inbound, sends it to the time stripe, far left to Peyton Hodge. No look pass to Beatty on the right wing, down to Henderson right corner. Quickly up top to Payton to move the 2-3 zone of Clovis. Sends it back to Beatty, right corner. 3 on the way, off the front of the rim, no good. Rebounded transition, spinning in the backcourt is Carpenter, his first board. Sends it across the timeline, left wing to Brown. Down the lane with a scoop, rejected by Henderson. Picked up by Peyton Hodge. He'll throw it ahead to Beatty. Lefty layup is swatted on the backboard. I'm not sure if we got a foul or a goaltend on this one. The whistle came after the shot. Now the officials having a discussion here. I don't think there was a foul, but are they going to call that a goaltend? The refs had a discussion, but didn't signal anything to the sideline. Let's see if they put points on the board for that one. Still some confusion out there. Now one of the officials running across court and talking to the scores table. Hope they have the microphone on here so we can hear what's going on. It looked like a good swat at the ball, but the question was whether it was coming down to the hoop. And I'm looking at the points. Nothing has changed. It still says 8 for Hobbs. So what's the call? Not going to get the PA on that one. 4 minutes remaining. We'll have to look back and see what happened on that play. Coming across the timeline is Brown. It is Clovis basketball. To the right elbow. Stop and go for Brown. Shifts over to the left wing and backs it out. Guarded by Henderson. Driving hard to the right side of the lane. Kicks it off to the right corner. Cavazos throws up a 3 in and out. No good. Tipped up for Clinton on the left block. He can't get it to go. And then chased down to the free throw line by Brown to back it out top of the arc. He'll take on Henderson with a crossover. Goes to the left rack. Scoop shot, no good. Tipped up again by Clinton. He can't get it to drop. And here comes Beatty in transition off the rebound. Boy, Clovis having some trouble point-blank range. Cross court right to Pena. Dribbles to the free throw line. Hippity hop. Backdoor to Henderson. Fumbled it off his elbow. Tracks it down to the right corner. Returns to Hodge on the near sideline. On the right, 3:18. The defense backs off. 3 shot on the way. Hits over the top of the backboard. Out of bounds. Both teams' offense is a little bit untracked right now. 8-5 still the score. Hobbs by 3. 3:12 left first quarter. Massive subs coming in. Josiah Clay for the Eagles. Also on the hardwood, Javen Hernandez. Let's see what one other player has just checked in. Actually a timeout, but Soria will be on as a guard. And we'll get the other subs here in just a minute. Timeout on the court. 8-5, Hobbs by 3. We'll come back in half a minute on the Hobbs Eagle Network and on the radio in Clovis, 99.9 FM, 1240 AM. Eight to 5 your score. First quarter, Hobbs leading Clovis. 3:08 remaining in the first. Clovis basketball taking their time with the dribble. Clifton Brown throws a high one across the time stripe. It's pulled down by Sice. Returns up top to Brown, into Sice on the left wing. And again deep to the timeline to Brown. Again, yo-yo pass to the left corner to Sice. Back to Brown. Cross court right over to Cox near the time zone. And he gives it back to the right elbow on the pivot by Clinton. Back to the left corner to Brown. He'll fire up a three off the back of the rim. Ball tipped in the air. Chased down on the right baseline by Carpenter. His second rebound. To Cox at the free throw line. And got the bumper car effect by Hobbs. The foul going to be called before he's able to take the shot up there from the free throw area. So they will call the foul on Jairus Turbiatis, his first. Just the first foul in the ball game. And checking in for Clovis now, Jaden Tapia, as he comes in for J.J. Sice. The inbound to the time stripe, pivoting, spinning with the dribble is Brown. Throws it to the right wing. Fade away for Cox for three off the back of the iron. And Turbiatis rips it down on the right baseline for the Eagles, his first board. Sends it across the time stripe to Clay, over to the left wing. Fade away Jay for three for Soria off the back of the rim. Chased down by Clay in the right corner for the Eagles. Dribbles out to the perimeter and sends it to repeat the play call here for Pena on a 2-3 zone D for Clovis. Over to right wing to Clay. Jab step, drives the lane, gets knocked around. Scoop shot off the back of the rim. They're going to say he stutter step, got the travel. Looked like he got bounced between two defenders on that right block, but they called the travel instead. Just the first turnover for either team. 8-5, going the other direction. Long pass down to the right baseline to Tapia. Underhands it to Cox on the left wing. He jacks up a three and puts it through. So Cox with his first bucket. Already 2 trays for Clovis, none for the Eagles. 8-8 score. We're tied in the first, 1:50 left. Soria to Pena front court. Trying to move the zone still. Sends it over to Clay on the right wing. Back to Pena. Over the left side to Soria. Wide open for an NBA three off the back of the rim. Loose in the paint. It's fumbled away after the rebound by Brown, but then picked up by teammate Jaden Cox in the front court. Drives to the free throw line. Spins in the paint. Fade shot and swishes over the top of Clay that time. So Cox starting to get on fire for Clovis. Back-to-back buckets. He's got 5. 10-8. Clovis with their first lead of 2 here with 1:20 left first quarter. Doing the left wing. Bounce pass to Turbiatis left block after a screen. Fadeaway jumper outside the paint left side. Nothing but net for Jairus. He's got 4. We are tied at 10. The big-time track meet going. Cox in the front court. Hard dribble down the lane with a little windmill action off the right glass and scores. Cox has made the last 3 baskets for Clovis and has 7 points. They lead 12-10 over the Eagles. 1 minute left opening quarter. Payne in the front court, still the zone against him. Finds Soria right corner, fakes a 3, pass to Turbiatis, fade away at the free throw line, in and out, no good. Cox jumping high for the rebound, his first board. Into the front court, to the top of the arc, fires a 3 out the front of the rim. Ball loose on the right elbow, stumbling on the court, getting knocked down after the rebound was Michael Clinton. Eagle fans thought he got a travel on that one. I think they did call the travel. Yep, it is. It's going to be a first turnover for Clovis. Clinton looked like he might have been knocked around a little bit from behind, but he stumbled forward and ended up flat on the ground. Kind of a delay there to see if that was a travel or a foul. 40 seconds left in the opening quarter. Eagle basketball. Soria front court, left wing, up top to Hodge. Swing it right to Clay. Couple of dribbles to the right block. Hippity hop, fadeaway jumper off the glass and scores to the right side. Great bank shot there for Josiah Clay. His first bucket. 5 scores for the Eagles, tied at 12. Clock down to 20 seconds opening quarter. Coming across the timeline is Brown in the left wing. Cross court right, gets deflected, picked up by Tapia. Back deep to Cox, swing it left side to Brown. Brown will take a few dribbles to the left elbow, backs it out with 10. Top of the circle against Henderson. Over to Cox on the right wing with 7 seconds. Back deep again, almost lost in the backcourt to Brown. Brown will keep the dribble with 3, 2, 1. Drives the lane with a runner shot at the buzzer, comes off the back of the rim. No good, and that went the first quarter of play. Not much different from the start. We are tied. 12-12, Hobbs and Clovis here at Ralph Task Arena. We will be back in 60 seconds, live on the radio at Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube here in Hobbs, and in Clovis on the radio at 99.9 FM and 1240 AM.
1.
We start the second quarter here at Tasker Arena. Clovis basketball. Fadeaway 3 right corner for Cox. Rebound for Henderson for the Eagles on the right block. His second. Sends it ahead to a wide open Beatty. Reverse layup on the right side. He's got 4 points. He's just tied up Turbiatas, the leader, with 4 for Hobbs. Clovis led 7 with Jaden Cox first quarter. 3 for Brown. 2 for Michael Clinton. Eagles up 14-12. A shot taken from the right side. And it's put through the hoop off the J. As putting it through for the Wildcats is Brown. He's got 5 points now. Second leading scorer for Clovis. Again, 14 all here in Hobbs. The shot for Turbiatas off the pass on the left elbow. Misses out the back of the rim. Rebound for Peyton Hodge. Fade away from the right baseline. Can't get it to drop. Rebound for Clovis in transition is Cox. As he drives to the free throw line. Lost the ball in the lane. Taken by Hodge. Second Clovis turnover. Sends it ahead to Pena. Gets knocked around and out of bounds on the baseline. So teams are starting to give away the ball left and right here. Got to get themselves under control. Both teams with 2 turnovers and 14-14 score with 7 minutes remaining, second quarter. Half-court inbound to the time stripe. Bringing it across is Tapia. Cross-court left. And a shot on the fadeaway off the back of the rim. No good from Tapia. And a rebound for Pena. Now in the front court off the dribble, his third. Gives it off left side. 3 on the way for Hodge. Off the side of the rim, no good. Chased down in the right corner for Clovis by Jaden Tapia. Cross court left and dribbling behind his back into the front court. And trying to pass to the left side was Carpenter. Got deflected to the Hobbs Eagles student section. Left sideline. Cox trying to come back for it, but it'll be knocked out by the Eagles and Pena. Clovis basketball. The inbound comes in to Brown at the time stripe, taking on Pena in front of the Tasker Ridge band. Stop and go, dribbles through his legs, spin move, top of the circle. Come to the left side of the paint, backs out of it, and now back outside the circle again. On the left sideline, a spin move, Pena stand with him. Hand off to Cox. Cox near the timeline, gets a screen, stays away from the screen, lost the ball off his knee, picks it back up, and now a 5-second violation. The Eagle defense is lulling him to sleep. Peyton Hodge and Pena, the 2 Ps taking care of business, and that'll be the 3rd turnover for Clovis. 6:12 remaining in the second. We're still tied 14 apiece. Into the front court comes Pena, sends it over to the left side to Beatty, drives to the left elbow, fires up a J off the side of the rim, no good. Henderson had it for a minute, got it knocked out of his hands, his 3rd rebound. And a good slap down for the Clovis Wildcats to knock it out on the baseline. A couple guys had a piece of it, possibly Cox got the last touch. Eagles ball on the right base, inbounding. Is Beatty, goes back door to Pena, gets a double swat on the shot. Ball gets knocked out of bounds, came off, looks like possibly Peyton Hodge's hands, and it'll go back to Clovis. Boy, getting sandwiched there on the left block was Pena. And we're still tied at 14. Clovis going to go with the long ball, 3-quarter court pass, complete over the far right side to Carpenter. Cross court left and a 3 on the way off the front of the rim, no good for number 32. We didn't have him on the books. Rebound for Beatty, throws it ahead, picked up by Hodge, top of the circle, front court. Spin move, scoop shot, right side, and scores off the glass. Count the bucket for Hodge, he's got 4 points. Coach Pickett thought there was a travel on that 360. Driving to the other baseline, left side, Tapia. Sends it right corner. 3 on the way off the back of the rim for Carpenter. Underneath the hoop is Turbiatas for the Eagles, his 2nd board. Outlet back to Beatty, far left sideline with 5:25. Down low to Henderson, left block. He tries to turn and fire up a double clutch, is hammered. He had guys on both of his shoulders that time, trying to get away from him. And spin to the basket. Looks like possibly Luke Carpenter. Yep, Luke Carpenter's going to get the foul, his first. That's just the first foul here in the first half for Clovis. And that'll put big man Parker Henderson on the line. Henderson for this district season has shot 1 of 4 for 25%. So not the best numbers there. First free throw up and good on that one, though. And for the season is at 59%. All those numbers improving after that first free throw. That's the first free throw of the ball game, by the way, for either team. That's only the 2nd foul called, 1 for each team in this half. 3 points now for Henderson. It's 17-14. Eagles could match their biggest lead of the first half by 4 if they can get this free throw. Henderson taking a deep breath. Shot is up, and it is off the back of the rim. No good. Pulled down underneath the hoop by Clinton. Is already a 6th rebound. Throws it across the timeline to Cox on the left wing to the free throw line. Turns and fires a J with a foot kicked up in the air. Puts it through. Cox, the leading scorer for both teams, now at 9 points, 17-16. Hobbs by 1 in the front court here in the second quarter. Driving to the top with Eric Pena. Over to Hodge. He throws it ahead of him. Hodge had to track it down left corner. Bounce to Turbiatas on the left elbow on the pivot. Looking for help. Over to Beatty on the right wing, fakes a three, drives the right side of the lane, goes back door to Henderson, misses the double hand dunk over the front of the rim. Ball loose on the floor, and it looks like it's going to be saved by Carpenter, his third rebound near the timeline. Gets it off to Cox. Bounce pass back to Carpenter, left wing for three, air ball. Pena jump in the air, forward underneath the hoop, and pulls it down for his fourth rebound. Now in the front court on the right wing, crossover move to his left hand, top of the arc. One hands it back to Hobbs at the timeline. Over to Turbiatis left wing. To Beatty, left baseline. Scoop pass underneath. This time Henderson does get a dunk. Double hand over the front of the rim. That's his fifth point of the ball game. Eagles by 3. In the front court, right wing is Brown. Double team, Hodge and Turbiatis. Puts it up top to Cox. Fade away three out the front of the rim, no good. Turbiatis on the left block, ripping it down, his third rebound. He goes to the floor and is tied up hard by a Clovis player. Both of them crashed the hardwood. I believe that was Trace Egbert, the guy that went to the hardwood. They called a foul, too. It looks like maybe Turbiatis with the push-off. So he did lose the ball momentarily and tried to get it back. Third turnover, and that'll be Turbiatis' second personal, first team foul. And checking in for him now will be Amron Wheeler, the sophomore. Inbound quickly on the right wing to Brown. Gives it up top to Egbert, swing it down to the left corner. Luke Carpenter with the basketball, screen as he dribbles up top after Michael Clinton sets one for him. Kicks it right back to the left side to Brown. Pivoting, he gets a tough D by Clay, who gets a screen on him. Brown got caught in the free throw line, goes back door, hook shot for Clinton, misses the shot, goes back up, can't get it to drop again underneath. Rebound for Turbiatis, his fourth. Outlet to the timeline to Clay. Dribbles through his legs, top of the circle. Over to Turbiatis left wing to move the 2-3 zone. Fires over to Beatty on the right wing. Bounce pass low to Wheeler, right block, spin move. Leads and shoots on the right glass and scores. The sophomore getting big on that one, his first bucket. 21-16, the biggest lead now, 5 for the Eagles. 3:25 left, second quarter. And the referee at half court is whistling something down on the paint, stopping the action. Not sure what that was all about. They stopped a live ball there. And I'm not sure what that's about unless there was an injury. Didn't see a foul call on that one. The official had his hand open, which means just say either somebody's hurt or possibly an infraction, but nothing called there. So it'll be Clovis basketball. The inbound of the backcourt for the Wildcats to Brown. He'll take on Surrey in the front court. He just checked in. Oh, a moving screen. Wicked knee by Clinton. Got away with one. Pass to Cox on the right corner. Boy, Clovis dodging a bullet on that. Took out an Eagle. Cox is spinning at the half-court line, comes down the lane, leads and shoots to the sidewinder hook, put his shoulder into the Hobbs Eagle defender, but they call the foul on Hobbs, who really wasn't set in defensive position. You don't get yourself set, you're going to pick that foul up every time. So that's going to give Cox a few free throws. And they'll call that one against Amron Wheeler with that big shoulder, his first, second team foul. So Cox on the line. First attempts for Clovis in this one. Last time they played in Clovis, Cox was the top scorer for the Wildcats as he put down 21 points. He was 7 of 8 from the charity stripe. Clovis shot 81% as a team, 13 of 16. Hit the first free throw there as Cox now in the books for 10 points, double digits, most for either team now. He had 7 in the first quarter. Second shot is up and another swish, now 11 for Cox in a 21-18 ball game. Hobbs by 3. Soria inbounds it to Pena by himself in the backcourt, still facing that 2-3 zone in the front side. Throws it back to Soria at the timeline, across to Clay on the left wing. Jab step, crossover move, spins down to the left elbow, kick over to Pena right wing, fakes a three, drives the lane, windmill layup underneath the hoop right side. It's loose off the glass, gets his own rebound, goes back up and is pushed in the back. Ball sails out the back of the rim, point blank range. But the rebound for Pena, his fifth, hasn't scored yet, but he'll get a chance for free throws finally for the Eagles. Henderson went 1 of 2 earlier, and now they'll put up him on the line. They call the foul against Clifton Brown, his first, second team foul. First shot is up and switched for Pena. Remember, he was 12 for 12 in district through the first 4 games, now 13 of 13 as he makes that one his first point of the ball game. And for the season, Pena from the charity stripe at 83%. Second shot a swish. Pena with 2 points. Of course, against Roswell on Tuesday, he dumped in quite a bit, double digits, but still that loss for the Eagles. He had 26 in the game. The inbound and a quick dribble for Brown, breaks the press, comes down the lane, reverse left side, a little short on the shot, hits the bottom of the rim, but they call the foul over the top on the Eagles. Little late whistle on that one. Will be 2 free throws for Clifton Brown. The Hobbs Eagles student section moaning and groaning about that call. And they will call that against Josiah Clay, his first, third team foul. As Clifton Brown gets his first chance to shoot. 2 for 2 on the line was Cox earlier in this quarter, and he misses back of the rim, front of the rim, and falls off. No good. Still a 5-point Eagle lead, their biggest of the game here in the second quarter. As Clifton is trying to get that down to a 4-point deficit. Second shot is up, and it is ricocheted again, no good. Pulled down by Wheeler in the middle of the paint, his first board. Outlet far side to Pena left. Stop and go dribble, comes down the lane, high arching layup, off the glass and in the bucket. Pena, he's got all 4 of his points now in the second quarter. A 7-point Eagle lead, the biggest of the ball game. 25-18, 2:25 left in the first. At half court, Cox catches a pass almost stolen by Pena. Dribble to the right elbow, fade away, Jay, and swishes it. He's on fire in this game. He's got 13, 6 in this quarter. In the second, 25-20, Hobbs by 5. Payne in the front court, slows it down against the zone, finds Turbiantes right wing, double team, pivots, drives to the free throw line on the hippity hop, kicks over to Soria, fakes it 3 left corner, dribbles a 15 and fires off the back of the rim as he let go. He was knocked backwards as Michael Clinton banged into him. I think he's going to get the foul call. Yep, that'll be Michael Clinton's first, third team foul. Both teams have 3 fouls apiece, putting Soria on the line. Lyric Soria for the district is 2 of 3 for 66%. And the sophomore for the season at 50%, 9 of 18, and drills that free throw right through the net. That'll be the first point for Soria. 8 scores so far for the Eagles, and just 3 doing all the point production for Clovis. Of course, 13 for Cox. And for the Eagles' leading scorer, it's 5 for Henderson. Second shot good for Soria. He's got 2 points. 27-20, Eagles by 7, 1:58 left in the second. Stop and go dribble front court, Brown sends it over to right corner, fadeaway 3 for Egbert, air ball. Turbiantes underneath the hoop for his 5th rebound, gets sandwiched in the paint. Looks like it might have been a back-to-back foul now on Michael Clinton. Got a little bit too tenacious as he converged. Nope, they're going to say instead Seiss. J.J. Seiss was right with him there. First on him, 4th team foul. Eagles are 1 away from the double bonus. Jaden Cox will now come in the game, as he'll come in for Trace Egbert. Coming across the timeline, Pena, one hands over to Soria on the right wing with a 7-point lead. 1:40 left in the half. Dribbles through his legs, bounce pass to the time stripe to Clay. Clay comes up top, fires an NBA 3. The zone just collapsed. He ricochets it off the rim, on the glass, and back in for 3. Josiah Clay, that's the first tray of the game for the Eagles. 5 for Clay. Eagles have their biggest lead now at 10. 30-20, 1:20 left in the half. In the front court, stop and go for Brown. Lost the ball at the free throw line. Ripped away by Turbiantes on the steal. Turnover number 4. Gets to the timeline to Pena. Crossover move on the left wing. Behind his back. Crossover again. Spins. Double team. Back to Clay at the top of the arc with 1:10. Slows up the dribble. Finds Soria right corner. Keeps it same side. Turbiantes right. Up top to Clay. Another 3 on the way. Goes high in the air off the back of the rim. Hits the cord on top of the backboard, which is out of bounds at the 1:03 mark. So Clovis will get it back with a 10-point Eagle lead. Parker Henderson with 5. Pena 4. Hodge 4. Josiah Clay with 5. And Jairus Turbiantes 4. Everybody getting a piece of the pie on this one. A couple other guys with scoring as well. And currently still in the lead in scoring for Clovis is Jaden Cox with 13, leading both teams. 30-20 Hobbs. Cox with the basketball. Takes on Clay to the front court. Beats him. Fires a 3 from the left side. It's good. Cox has got his 2nd tray of the ball game, the 3rd for the Wildcats, who trail by 7. 45 seconds left in the half. Payne in the front court. He'll slow it down once a rotation on his wings. High inbound, or high pass to the left elbow to Turbiantes. Back on the give and go. Pena tries a little windmill as he comes down the right side of the lane. Gets between 2 defenders again, and the foul is going to go either against Seiss or Clinton. It'll be the 2nd for either one of those 2 guys, and we'll see who they call it against. They call that on Seiss, his 2nd, 15 foul, double bonus for the Eagles. Problem with the Clovis D on that one, again, they gave too much a gap in the middle of them, gave a little bit of room for Payne to get through, and then they try to collapse on him late. Shot is up and good, continues to be perfect as Pena for the district season, 15 of 15 overall, 3 for 3 in this game. He's got all 5 of his points here in this second quarter. Hobbs up by 8, 31-23. One more shot for Pena with 38 seconds left in the half. Is up, and it is good. He's 4 for 4 in this second quarter and 6 points overall. 32-23. Inbound to Cox. He'll take on Soria, the sophomore. Stop and go in the front court. Puts on the brakes. Keeps the dribble alive through his legs. Far right sideline. Backs into Soria. Gets a screen. At the time stripe by Clinton. Dribbles to the left side of the paint. Gives it up top. Faking a three is Brown. Brown to the left wing off the dribble. Uses it up. Dumps it down to the left corner. In the hands of Carpenter. Back deep, almost lost by Brown. Is able to recover near the timeline. Quick D by Turbiatis. Hand off to Cox right near that time stripe, middle of the court. He dribbles left with 8 seconds. Down to 6, down to 5. He's backing it out to the left wing. NBA three up in the air off the back of the iron. Ripped out by Payton on the left block. Throws a three-quarter court shot at the buzzer and misses just right of the rim. So Pena with that rebound finishes up with 6 boards in the first half and all 6 of his points in the second quarter. Your Hobbs Eagles lead Clovis at the half, 32-23. We'll be back live in 3 minutes for the Hobbs Eagle halftime show, live at Hobbs on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, Cool 95.7, Cool 95.7 Facebook page, and in Clovis, our friends there at 99.9 FM at 1240 a.m. Back live here at Tasker Arena, a 9-point Hobbs Eagle lead over the Clovis Wildcats, 32-23 here at halftime. And of course, big game for the Hobbs Eagles after losing at Roswell on Tuesday. They're now 3-1 in district. Roswell tied with them with the same record after that win, and Clovis trying to get their first win in district, 0-4 currently, so lots on the line in this game as we get down to the last few games of district. All the teams have 2 more games after this, or actually 1. This is the next to last for the Eagles. They have Carlsbad next Friday night, and of course Clovis is going to play Roswell one more time on February 21st as well, so that's going to be a big one too. Plus the district tournament on tap coming up here the week after next. Let's look at the numbers in the first half of action. First for Clovis, they only have 3 scores so far. Double digits, though, for Jaden Cox. He had 7 points in the first quarter, 9 in the second. Went 2 for 2 on the line, hit 2 trays, 1 in each quarter. Again, 16 for Jaden Cox on 2 rebounds. Clifton Brown with 5 points. He had a tray in the first quarter, went 0 for 2 on the charity stripe, and had 2 rebounds. And Michael Clinton continues to wipe the glass for Clovis. He's got 7 boards, but only 2 points at this point in time. He's had a lot of stuff inside. Little touch problems, though, that hasn't put it in the rim, but he has gotten a lot of rebounds underneath, which has caused a timeout for the Eagles at one point to try to get somebody to block him out. So, again, 3 scores, Cox, Brown, and Clinton. The Clovis Wildcats have 17 rebounds, 5 less than the Eagles. Clinton leading with 7 boards. And, of course, Clovis has hit 3 3-pointers, 2 for Cox, and 1 for Brown. Only 4 turnovers in the first half. Been a pretty clean game in terms of taking care of the basketball for both teams up to this point. Clovis was 2 for 4 from the free throw line for 50%. The 2 free throws good for Cox. And they only had the 1 lead in the game at 2 points in the first half. And for your Hobbs Eagles, they've had 8 scores so far. Nobody in double digits yet, but Payne is starting to knock at the door on that. Got all 6 of his points in the second quarter. Went 4 for 4 from the charity stripe, had another bucket, and had the most rebounds for the Eagles at 6. Also in the scoring column, Parker Henderson, 5 points, 1 of 2 from the line, and had 3 rebounds. Braddock Beatty had a couple of buckets for 4 points and 2 boards. Peyton Hodge with 2 buckets and 4 points and 2 boards. It was Josiah Clay hitting a tray and another basket for 5 points. Javris Turbiatis had 4 points and 5 rebounds. Amron Wheeler coming off the bench as sophomore and the bucket for 2. And that's pretty much it for this. Actually, one other score, Lyric Soria, the sophomore, also had 2 for 2 free throw shooting for 2 points. Eagles were 5 of 6 from the charity stripe as they hit in the 80-plus range for that first half of action, only missing 1 free throw. Hobbs again leading in the rebounds with 22-17, led by Abraham Pena, 6, 5 for Javris Turbiatis, and 3 for Parker Henderson. Eagles with just 3 turnovers, 1 less than Clovis, but Hobbs only got the 1 tray, and that was converted by Clay against the 3 for Clovis. Scoring in the first quarter was tied at 12. Hobbs managing to get a total of 20 points in that second quarter, and just 11 for Clovis, thus the 9-point Eagle lead. 32-23, Hobbs over Clovis. We'll come back in 2 minutes live here at halftime on the radio and Hobbs at Cool 95.7, also on our Facebook page. Also going to the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube on the Hobbs Sports page, and in Clovis at 99.9 FM and 1240 AM on the radio. Welcome back to halftime here at Task Arena. Next to last district game for the Hobbs Eagles taking on the Clovis Wildcats. And the Wildcats will have one more game next week. At the last game, I should say, on Friday, they will take on Roswell. Again, Eagles at 3-1 in district. Roswell 3-1 tied. And coming in at the last spot is Clovis at 0-4. We mentioned in the pregame show, Hobbs sticking with that number 2 spot in the Max Preps poll even after losing in Tuesday's game in Roswell with that 15.7 strength of schedule, keeping them in a solid second behind Volcano Vista. Roswell moved up to number 4 from 5 after that win, and Cleveland was dropped down to number 5. They lost to Farmington, the 13th ranked team in the state, so that was a drop for them. And then, of course, Carlsbad checks in at number 12 in the Max Preps poll with a 16-8 record, and Clovis at number 17. 16 teams will make the tournament. Of course, we're very far away from that with a few more district games remaining and the tournament as well. So, again, the battle right now is to see who's going to get the regular season crown, because that gets you an automatic berth in the tournament, the state tournament, or at least for the first round of the playoffs. So that's a big deal for the Eagles in this one. Pena has it across the timeline as we start this third quarter. Bounce pass to the free throw line to Beatty. Kick out left to Hodge. He'll drive the middle of the paint. Runner shot is swatted away. Good D by Clinton, and it's picked up for the Wildcats on the near right sideline by Brown, his third rebound. Sends it down to the right corner. A fadeaway 3 out the back of the rim for Size. Pulled down at the free throw line for Payne, who gets stripped hard from behind by Clinton. Clinton just picked up his second personal, and that'll be the first team foul. And Pena's got his 7th rebound already. So he's usually the leading scorer and the three-point shooter, but rebounds not his biggest numbers, but this game he's taking control of the glass. Into the front court, Hodge no look pass to Payne on the right wing. Trying to move the 2-3 zone. Over to left side to Beatty. He'll drive baseline. Tries a wraparound pass. It's swatted right back at him on the baseline. Luckily, he got out of the way. Jaden Cox got a big mitt on it that time in the middle of the paint. Knocked it out to the baseline. Did not hit the Eagle. Painted inbound to the right base. Goes to Turbiantis. Fadeaway jumper right block. No good. Ball tipped up in the air, and Cox pulls it down to the left baseline. So Cox now getting the rebound. That's his third. He'll hand it off to his guard. Brown behind him. Now across the timeline against Pena. Just underway here in the third. It's 32-23 Eagles. Bounce pass to Cox on the right elbow with the pivot. Spin. Taking on Hodge. Stop and go. Spin move at the free throw line left side. Bounce it up top to reset to Brown. Brown on the left wing. Zigzag it back to the top. Spin move. Left elbow. Kicks it down to Cox in the left baseline. Good D for Hodge with the hip to hip. Goes it up top to Carpenter. Drives to the right block. Flicks it back to the right wing to Size. Hand off behind to Brown. A lot of clock running here. Dribbles up right to left, top of the circle. Stop and go. Left baseline. Goes to the rack with a reverse layup left and scores. Brown has 7 points. 32-25. Eagles by 7. Quickly in the front court, Soria, the sophomore. Cross court right to Beatty. Touch pass to Hodge in the right corner. Bounce it to Pena, right elbow. Fade shot. No, he's going to the hoop with a windmill layup on the right side. He showed a little shot there and then went to the hoop with it instead and was up in the air and got the foul as well. So count the basket for Pena. That's his 8th point as they call the foul on Michael Clinton, his 3rd now, 2nd team foul, as Pena will step up to the charity stripe. He is perfect 4 for 4. The Eagles were 5 of 6 at halftime, just missed 1 free throw. Pena's free throw is up and good. He continues to be perfect. 17 of 17 in the district. This is his 5th opponent. And a time called here for the official. They have a sub coming in for Clovis. Again, Payne with 9 points to lead the Eagles. Checking on for Clovis, Javier Jimenez, first time tonight. Inbound to the near right sideline to Jimenez. Throws it across the time stripe. Tipped by Hodge. Pulled down by Cox on the left wing. Throws it down to the left block. Pivoting in the paint, looking for somebody to get open. Size kicks it up top to Brown. His 3 is away and good. Top of the circle. Brown now with his 2nd tray of the game. He's got 11 to lead Clovis. That's their 4th tray of the game. 35-28 Hobbs in the front court. Spinning in the lane is Hodge. Up top to Pena. Fakes a 3. Gets his defender up. Over to Beatty in the right corner. His 3 is out the front of the rim. Ripped down hard underneath the iron for Michael Clinton. Already his 8th rebound. Sends it down the court to the near right sideline. Falling down after the dribble was Brown. Picked up for Beatty. Throws it to Soria, right side. Over to Turbiantis on the alley-oop. Double hand dunk on the left side of the rim. 6 points for Turbiantis. That was the 5th Clovis turnover. And they stopped action. Looks like there's an injured Wildcat underneath the hoop at the Eagles' offensive end. And from the other end of the court, Coach Pickett saw the injury and told the officials to hold up here. Waiting to see who that is. I thought it might have been Javier Jimenez, the guy that just barely got in the ball game. He's being lifted up by one of the assistant JV coaches now. Yes, that was Javier Jimenez. And the crowd applauding that coach just picked him up in his big arms there. Got to be a lineman in football back when he was playing, too. Good guy, too, coaches that JV squad. The inbound for Clovis on the near right sideline. Tipped, and Pena gets a steal. Turner number 6. He goes to the rack on the left side with a double clutch over the rim and scores. Pena now with 5 points in the third, 11 overall. Eagles had their biggest lead of 11. A steal in the front court by Beatty as he stripped Cox. He's coming through with it. Down the lane, scoop on the right side and scores. Beatty now with 6. That is 7 turnovers for Clovis, and that's going to get the black and purple and white to call the timeout. 5:19 remaining third quarter. Eagles have their biggest lead now of 13 in the third. 41-28. Back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. And in Clovis on the radio, 99.9 FM at 1240 AM. Your Hobbs Eagles have extended the lead to 13 here in the third quarter, 41-28 over Clovis. Eagles have scored a total of 9 points compared to 5 for Clovis, and some big turnovers. They've had 3 against Clovis here in the third quarter, thus the timeout for the Wildcats. Of course, the Hobbs Lady Eagles are on the road tonight at Rock Stompus in Clovis. We'll try to get a score update on that one. Also in boys action, Carlsbad and Roswell are going at it, which is a big game. Carlsbad can knock off the Roswell Coyotes, and a win here for the Eagles tonight put them back in number 1 in district. 13-point Eagle lead. The inbound to the backcourt for Clovis, left corner to Brown. Goes into the timeline to Cox, the inbounder. He'll take a dribble to the other baseline left, tries to fade towards the hoop, and they get the body foul. Beatty went up with him and kind of threw the hip at him. So Beatty will pick up his first personal, first team foul against the Eagles here in the third quarter. And that'll put Cox on the line where he is perfect, 2 for 2. At the half, Clovis 2 for 4 for 50%. And Cox right now with 16 is yet to score in this third quarter. His first shot is up and good. 17 now for Cox. Of course, we mentioned earlier that he was the leading scorer in Clovis. He had 21 of the Wildcats' 59 points in that game. Eagles do a last-second switch underneath the hoop. Beatty and Turbiatas do the do-si-do. As Turbiatas going to the left side of the line. He wants to battle up there with that big kid, Clinton. Second shot's up and good, kind of rimmed around a little bit. Brown gets it. Or correction, Cox. That's 18 for him now. Perfect 4 for 4 on the line. 41-30. Eagles by 11. Into the front court. Hodge top of the circle. Throws to Surrey on the right wing. He tries to bounce past it, but looks like it was kicked out of bounds on that far right. Off the foot of J.J. Seiss. Eagle ball. Surrey will inbound on the sideline right. 5:04 left third quarter. Hobbs up 41-30. Surrey gets it into Hodge near the time stripe on the right side. Screen up top from Turbiatas, doesn't use it. Gives it to Turbiatas on the right wing. Hand back to Hodge, drives the right baseline. Spin, move in the lane, fade away. Off the back of the rim, no good. Beatty pulls it down on the right block. His third board. Crossover baseline, shot from 10 right side and hits it. Boy, a lot of effort there for Beatty. Rebound and shot, he's got 8. 43-30, back to a 13-point lead. In the front court, Cox throws it ahead into the left wing. Almost a travel by Cavazos. Bad pass back to the timeline. Stolen by Pena. Turner number 8. He's down to the right baseline. Gets hooked by the defender, the guy that threw the ball away a minute ago, Cavazos. He'll pick up the foul. That's his first, third team foul. So Clovis getting a little sloppy here in the third quarter. Turnovers are starting to cause buckets for the Eagles, who now lead their biggest of 13. Eagle ball on the right baseline. Surrey will inbound, but first a sub for Clovis. Big kid coming in who hasn't played yet for Clovis. Jake Brown, number 44. He's a few inches shorter than Turbiatas, but a lot stockier than Jairus. I don't think he's going to be able to keep up with Jairus. Inbound to Pena. He gets swatted as he leans to the hoop on the left side. That's Brown that gets a piece of it and pulled down on the rebound by Clifton Brown. Brown in the front court on the left wing. That block was from the other Brown, Jake Brown. He pivots, throws it down to Clifton Brown, or correcting Jake Brown, the left block. Back it in, Turbiatas. Trying to dribble through his legs, gets the ball, throws a hook shot. Boy, Turbiatas just half-heartedly swats at it. I didn't see much contact there. They call the foul. Little shoulder shot opportunity there for Jake Brown. Somehow gets it to go through the hoop. That's his first bucket. Foul on Turbiatas. That's his third personal. and the second team foul. So Jake Brown has 2 points here in the third quarter. Clovis 4 of 6 from the line. First attempt here for Brown in the ball game is up, and it is good. He's got 3 points. So some big production for Jake Brown coming off the bench and quickly getting some points. Substitutions for the Eagles, Javen Hernandez and Josiah Clay check in for Turbiatis and Soria. I don't see any changes for Clovis. Inbound to Peyton Hodge, up by 10 for the Eagles. Comes across the timeline uncontested. Slides now to the middle of the court. Still looks like somewhat of a matchup zone now. Up top to Hernandez, gives to Beatty on the right wing. Dribbles right and gives to Pena. Lost it off his knee, rolls back to the timeline, recovers. Nice D being applied, but then Cavasso slaps at him at the last second as he got around him for a second and reached out and grabbed. So that's a second on Cavassos. Will be the 4th team foul. Clock stopped with 3:53 left here in the third. Eagles still by 10. And they're trying to get a sub in from the other baseline and finally getting the scores table just before they hand it in for the Wildcats. As checking in for them is Kaiden Everett. Inbound to Clay near the timeline, far right near the scores table. Crossover move against Cox, spins, gives it off right wing, and Peyton Hodge will back it out. One hand bounce pass to Payne in the right corner as he backs into his defender, Everett. Drives to the right elbow, double team, one step and shot between 2 defenders off the glass and counted. Chance for a 3-point play for Payne on the foul. He's got 7 here in this quarter, 13 overall in the third. And they're going to call that on Everett. Everett's first personal. 15 foul. That means Eagles in the double bonus the rest of this quarter, 3:38. Beatty's going to take a seat. And Amari McGahey checks in, one of the 6 seniors on the team that were recognized before the game, senior night. Pena back up on the line. He is perfect, 5 for 5. Make it, it rolls out the last second. I should have shut my mouth. Underneath the bucket is Cox. Long rebound and throws it down court to a wide open layup to Sice. His first bucket. 2 points for Sice, a 10-point lead once again for Hobbs. Clay in the front court, goes to the rack, double clutch off the right of the rim off. Nope, tips it up, can't get it to drop. Trying to chase it down for the Eagles. Ball gets knocked out from the left baseline, and it will go back to Clovis. So Eagles trying to add on to that 10-point lead, just can't quite get it done on that play. Now we got some trap pressure, a 1-2-1-1 full court. Inbound on the near sideline for Clovis to Brown. Gifton Brown having some trouble, throws it across to Cox. He's in the front court, he picks up a double team, pivots and throws it back. The deflection to Brown, top of the circle. Goes to his right hand down the lane, scoop shot and scores at the right glass. Good body control in the air, leading to the hoop that time. 12 points now for Brown, 7 in this third quarter. An 8-point lead, down to single digit now. As Eagles have been having a little bit of trouble keeping these double-digit leads up in some of the games recently. As now it's Clay with the basketball. Bounce pass to Pena left wing. Continues to the baseline. Shot from 15 on the fade and good. Pena drills it. Another bucket for Pena. He's got 9 in the third, 15 overall to lead both teams. 47-37. Hobbs by 10. 3:15 left third quarter. Pass down to the right corner to Sice. Throws it up top to reset to Brown. Guarded by McGahey. Allows to Cox on the left wing. Wraparound pass, left block to Jake Brown. He turns and fires up a hook shot. Rolls out the front of the rim, no good. Tipped up by Cavassos. Can't get it to drop. And then another rebound opportunity. Wait a second here. We got a foul call. Somebody was swatting at the ball. I'm not sure who they called that against. Maybe a push-off on Clovis instead. Yeah, they called the foul on Clovis on the push on the rebound. That was Joseph Cavassos. He had the initial rebound, missed it, and then was pushing in the back. His third personal. 6-team foul. That should be a bonus. That ball was in the air, and that was a rebound, so that should have been a bonus foul there. And nobody had really control of the basketball, so I'm not quite sure whether or not shooting it. Going the other end on a windmill layup. Peyton Hodge went down the right side of the lane through 3 defenders, crashes to the floor. And they're going to call the block foul, so that'll be 2 free throws for Hodge as they get that foul against Jake Brown, his first. And that'll be the 17th foul. Hodge on the line. Yet to shoot a free throw. That one bricked off the back of the rim, hit the top of the backboard and came off. Hodge came into the contest shooting 57% from the charity stripe. And then got that first miss. And from the district in terms of free throw shooting, he was 6 of 8 for 75%. Second shot hard off the back of the rim. Guess I better quit reading the numbers. Chase down, though, for Henderson. Hernandez on the far side right. He passes back deep to Clay to set up the offense with 3 minutes remaining. Keeping the play alive. Top of the circle, slides left and shoots a 3 off the side of the rim. Rolls out to the left corner out of bounds in front of the Hobbs Eagles student section, and it'll be Clovis basketball. Hobbs up by 10, 47-37. 2:55 remaining here in the third. Kind of a drag here as we've gone through the midway part of the third quarter. The inbound on the baseline, spinning with the basketball is Brown into the front court. No look pass to the left corner. DeSice gets it back, gives it off to the left elbow to Jake Brown. Spins in the lane, kicks it back up top to Cox. Left elbow, bounce pass left wing. 3 on the way for Brown, and hits off the side of the rim. Clifton Brown. And they got a rebounding foul underneath against Clovis. They're pushing way too much, trying to get in position. And once again, that's Jake Brown, that big sub that came in earlier in this quarter. He's got 2 now fouls, 18 foul. And now they got a substitution on the court. And that's going to be Joseph Cavazos checking in for Cox. Cox leaves the leading scorer with 18 points for Hobbs. 15 for Pena in the driver's seat scoring-wise. Soria will bring it across the timeline, hand it off to Hodge, dribbles up top. Over to Clay on the right wing. Nice head fake and backs it out. Underhands it to Soria, top of the circle. Screen from Hernandez. Sliding right is Soria outside the circle still. Spin move. Underhand pass back door on the left side. Hernandez can't get it to drop on the shot. Rebound on the baseline. Pulled down for Clovis by Carpenter, his 4th. Gets the hand off to Brown. Brown in the backcourt, guarded by Soria. Throws it across the timeline. Complete to the right wing. And trying to get a pass down the right side of the arc was Carpenter. Got swatted out by Soria. So it'll be Clovis basketball. 2 subs are making 3 now for Hobbs checking in. Be Henderson and Turbiatis. Also Pena, 3 of the starters. And coming back, the big boy for Clovis is Michael Clinton. He's got 3 fouls, though, but he does have 8 rebounds. So Hodge will exit. Soria will stay on the court with Clay and the other 3 starters. Bounce pass comes in on the inbound to Brown on the near right side, guarded closely by Clay. Sliding left, unloads the pass to the left side of Clinton on the circle. Back deep to the timeline to Sice, over to the right wing to Brown. Dumps it down to the right block to Clinton. Goes up, fade on the right block off the back of the rim. Henderson pulls it down underneath the hoop. His 4th rebound. Outlet far side, Pena right to the right baseline. Double clutch, knocked to the floor, no call. Underneath the hoop for the rebound is Clinton. That's his 9th. Outlet to the timeline, bringing it across is Brown. Clifton Brown dribbling through his legs to the right block. Turns and fires it down the lane. The big man waiting for it. Hook shot missed by Clinton. Chasing the top of the arc, still loose at the timeline. In the backcourt to track it down was Clifton Brown, his 5th board. To the top of the arc off the dribble. Soria sliding with him. Stop and go dribble, right elbow. Runs over Clay, who came over to help on the double team. And they're going to say Clay wasn't set, moving his feet. He got knocked over, bulldozed, flat on his back, but they said his feet were moving, so they called the block on him. Nice effort for Clay to try to get the charge on that high post left of the free throw line. So Clay will pick up the foul, his 2nd, 3rd team foul against the Eagles here in the 3rd. Clock stopped with 1:21 remaining in the 3rd. Eagles by 10. Biggest lead has been 13 here in the 2nd half. Clovis will have the ball on the right baseline. As the inbounder will be Jaden Cox, who just checked back in. Gets it into the right corner to Clifton Brown, guarded by Clay closely to Cox on the right wing. His defender fell down. Pena misses off the left rim. Rebound Soria in transition. As Lyric Soria, the sophomore, gets into the front court up top to Pena. Clock to 1:08, 3rd quarter. Jab step, waiting for a screen from Henderson right side. Takes it, goes down the lane. High arching layup right off the rim, no good. Henderson goes back up with a fade on the right block. Drops it through the cylinder. Count the bucket and the foul. And a chance for a 3-point play for Henderson. 7 points and 5 rebounds now after that one. And makes the lead 12 and could match the biggest lead at 13 with the free throw. They call the foul on Luke Carpenter, his 3rd. That's the 19th foul on the Wildcats. Henderson is 1 of 2 from the charity stripe in this game, back in the 2nd quarter. He can make it 50 for the Eagles, the half-century mark here with the free throw. Shot is up, and it is bouncing around, no good. Underneath the hoop is Cox with the rebound, his 5th. Dribbles middle of the court, down the free throw line. Double clutch, and Henderson kind of stumbles and gets tripped and bodies into him back. I think he got Beatty instead. Beatty was right there as well. And they will call it on Braddock, his 2nd. That'll be the 14th foul. Not a shooting foul, though. It'll be inbound for the left baseline. Cox to do the chore. Down to 54.9. Bounces it into the left wing, almost knocked out of bounds by Brown. Jake Brown will hand it off behind to Clifton Brown on the left wing. Crossover move goes baseline underneath the hoop now. Good D by Beatty. He does a reverse layup high off the glass, hits the rim, no good. Chased down by Pena on the near left sideline. That's Pena's 8th rebound. He's going to be in double-double numbers pretty quickly. Debating in the front court, right wing, fakes a three. Posting up, Henderson, right block, hook shot, gets bodied up. On the hook off the right side of the rim, goes short, but he's going to get 2 more free throws. So he continues to use his big body to good effect underneath. As they're going to call that against Jake Brown, that big kid, his 3rd personal, 10th team foul, which doesn't matter past 5 now with the double bonus. Henderson is 1 of 3 for 33%. Free throws up, bouncing off again, no good. Missed his last 2 here in the 3rd quarter. 12-point Eagle lead, and a sub coming in for the Wildcats. Michael Clinton returns to give another big body against Henderson as Jake Brown has to lead with 3 fouls. Henderson trying to get his 8th point of the ball game on this 2nd attempt. It's up, and it's hard off the back of the rim. Rebound by Beatty, though, on the right block. His fourth, goes back up with a hook shot, right base, hits the side of the backboard. Put up by Henderson, misses off the right block and the rim. And he got bodied up again. I think I'm going to say he pushed off, though, and that will be his 1st personal and the 15th foul. Now, wait a second here. They're going to go to the other end to shoot the bonus. I've seen plenty of past 5 fouls at the other end that looked like nobody had possession of it, which I thought that put the Eagles in a double bonus situation. But the timing is where it all counts, whether the ball was in possession of the offense or not. Or the ball is being shot, and then there's a rebounding foul. That could be a bonus-type situation. So they're giving Clovis the benefit of the doubt here, as that will put on the line Michael Clinton. He's yet to shoot a free throw. His first off the back of the rim, no good. Michael Clinton, the last time they played against the Eagles in Clovis, he had 8 points to not get a free throw opportunity. And right now, Clinton had only 2 points, but he does have 9 rebounds. 49-37, 12-point Eagle lead. Hitting this 2nd free throw is up off the back of the rim and rolls around and good. He's got 3 total. 49-38, clock down to 23. Quick jump for Pena after the inbound. Weaving through traffic down the front court, gets banged into. Ball came loose from Brown and taken down by Cox. He goes to the rack on the right side and lays it in for 2. So 20 for Cox. That was the Eagles' 4th turnover, and should have been a foul probably at the free throw line at the other end of the court. As throwing a knee at him was Clinton on Pena. Eagles in the front court with 2 seconds. Coming down the lane is Clay. A fadeaway with the hook shot at the buzzer. Off the back of the rim, no good. Your Hobbs Eagles, though, still lead 49-40 over Clovis at the end of 3. We will take a 60-second break. Come back on the radio in Hobbs at Cool 95.7, on the radio in Clovis 99.9 FM, 1240 AM, and on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube on the Hobbs Sports page. We head to the 4th quarter here at Tasker Arena in Hobbs. Your Eagles lead the Wildcats of Clovis 49-40. Wildcats are led in scoring by Jaden Cox, 20 points, 5 rebounds. He is 4 for 4 from the line and a couple of trays. Clifton Brown with 12 points. He's got 2 trays and 5 boards. And for your Hobbs Eagles leading with 15 points, Abraham Pena. He is 5 of 6 from the line and has 9 or make it 8 rebounds. 8 points for Braddock Beatty on 4 boards. 7 for Parker Henderson with 6 rebounds. And 6 for Jairus Turbiatis on 5 boards. Eagles are out rebounding Clovis 30-28 heading into the 4th quarter. 8 turnovers for Clovis, a majority of those coming in the 3rd quarter. Just 4 for the Eagles, so they have half of those bad numbers. Eagles had 17 points in the 3rd and 17 for Clovis. 49-40 the score. I think the official here at half court just called a warning on somebody here. I'm not sure what that was about. The official that was going to have the inbound is running down to talk to the head coach of Clovis, Corey Pickett. That might have been a tech. Maybe he slapped the ball on the inbound there. Unless that was his second warning against them. So we'll go against Clovis regardless. They had 10 fouls in the third quarter. Oh, they had a player on the court that had played too many quarters, too many JV plus varsity. That doesn't get called a lot because that has to be somebody that says something to the scores table and then they call the refs over for it. It does cause a lot of argument, debate, and checking books and all that stuff, but technical foul has been administered. If you play a player that's played more than 5 quarters of any level on a day, JV, or if they have freshman game right before the varsity, they do count those quarters, and then if you get past 5, now the JV coach is going to the scores table. You can expect that. As we're going to have a big discussion here. The tech was already called. Now, they didn't have any really of a debate going on. The official that heard about it went right to the head coach, Coach Pickett. The tee had already been called. Usually they have a discussion, debate about it first. As it looks like that will continue to be the case here at the Tech. The referee's getting chewed out right now, but what else is he supposed to do? If the book says it, the book says it. Pena will shoot the 2 shots for the Techs. He is 5 of 6, make it 6 of 7. He makes his first one there, has 16 points. Leading scorer for the Eagles. Still about 4 points behind Cox, who's the top scorer of the ball game for Clovis. But with these free throws, that'll chip away at that. Now 17 for Pena, gets both of them. 51-40, Hobbs by 11. Here with 7:58 left, fourth quarter just barely underway, the finale. Eagles trying to get their district record of 4-1, and Clovis working on their first win of the season at 0-4, at least in the district side. Pena inbound at the timeline, gets it back court to Pena. Back to the 2-3 zone goes Clovis. They came out of it a little bit in the third. Bounce pass to Beatty on the left wing, sends it down to Henderson, left block, backs in, and then gives back to Beatty, left baseline, 15-footer on the way, and swish it. Braddock Beatty knocks it down. He's got double digits now with 10 points. Consistent scoring for him. 53-40, matching the biggest lead for the Eagles in the game. 7:35 remaining in the front court, top of the arc. Crossover for Brown, left wing. Lost the ball. Beatty Pena takes it away. Turner number 9. He goes with a double clutch on the right block. Misses, goes back up with his own rebound and scores. Same place on that right block as Pena now has 19 and 9 rebounds. He's 1 rebound away from a double-double. We got a foul in the backcourt. Eagles banged into one of the Clovis Wildcats. Wait a second. No tech foul going to be called. They're going to call a taunting tech on Abraham Pena, his first. They're making the first team foul for Hobbs in the fourth quarter. That'll put Cox on the line. He's perfect, 4 for 4. Shot is up and good. We mentioned he went 7 of 8 in Clovis, the loss to the Eagles. 71-59. Makes his first free throw. He's got 21 to lead both teams now, but although Pena now at 19 right behind him. Little horse race going on here. Cox's second free throw, Tech, is good. He's got 22. So perfect 6 for 6 from the line so far tonight for Jaden Cox, the senior. 55-42 though. Eagles still lead by 13. The lead went up to 15 right before that after the 2 techs for Pena. We got a foul away from the ball as they're going to call that against Jairus Turbiatis for a push. That's going to be his 4th personal. He's got to be careful. Second team foul. And it will be again Clovis basketball. Coach Ross going to give him a breather and bring in Josiah Clay. Clay's had a nice little game so far with 5 points, including a tray. Inbound gets knocked out as Peyton Hodge playing some tough pressure on the inbound. Cox will have to move back to the time stripe now to reset it for Clovis. Sends it to the backcourt. Dangerous throw to Brown, almost picked off by Pena. Brown will take on Abraham one-on-one across the time stripe, across the Hobbs Eagle logo. Spin move to the free throw line, down the lane. Flips it over to the left wing to Clinton. Clinton will hand it off to Cox on the left side as well. Hippity hop. Kicks it back up top in the hands of Seiss. Slings it over to the right wing to Clifton Brown. Jab step against Beatty. And we got a whistle on the baseline. Looks like timeout call. Coach Corey Pickett wants to talk to his offense and try to whittle away at the 13-point deficit the Clovis Wildcats have at this point. 7:03 left, fourth quarter. Hobbs 55, Clovis 42. Coming back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network, on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube, Colt 95.7, and in Clovis on the radio, 99.9 FM at 12:40 a.m. And it was knocked off his leg out of bounds as that went off the thigh of Luke Carpenter. Hobbs basketball once again, up by 13. Pena will back it out after the inbound to the scores table, far right. Stop and go dribble. Sliding right to the free throw line. Fires the shot. Fade away off the front of the rim. Hits hard. Hodge will save it again, the second time in a row off the leg of another Wildcat, Clifton Brown. This one rolls out to the right baseline. So he's saved it twice. Both times did a great job of using the leg of a Wildcat as a ricochet item and getting the ball back on the inbound. Had a little technical difficulty there. Sorry about that, on the radio at least, or probably the internet as well. Substitution for the Wildcats coming in. Ethan Gutierrez inbound to Henderson on the right wing for the Eagles. Hand off to Pena right side. Outside the circle, coming out to guard him is Cox. Henderson waiting to set a screen. Shot from the top from Pena. In and out, no good. Henderson gets a rebound near the front of the rim. Tried to fade to the left side and air it up, but he gets bodied into his 7th rebound, but fouled. That'll put Henderson on the line. Kind of hard to get up on a 7-footer. You just got to crash into his body the best you can. And they'll get the foul call against Jaden Tapia, his second team foul here in the fourth quarter. Ooh, they didn't call that a shooting foul. Looked like he was just kind of fading up over the rim that time left side. So will not be on the line for Henderson. Inbounding Beatty left base. Goes back door to Pena. He leans in and shoots to the right and lays it off the glass. Abraham Pena with 6 points in the fourth, 21 overall to lead the Eagles, and just 1 point behind Cox for the Wildcats. A 15-point lead, matching the biggest. 3 on the left side, on the way for Brown off the back of the rim. Henderson with the rebound underneath. That's his 8th. Outlet up ahead to Clay. One-hand bounce pass down the lane, right to Cox for the Wildcats, and the Eagles' 5th turnover. He dribbles behind his back in the paint. Turnaround jumper in the paint, no good. Ball's tipped around, and Henderson rips it down for his 9th board. Outlet to the far left sideline to Beatty. He comes down the lane. Fade shot from the right block, no good. Ball loose to left corner, chased down by Peyton Hodge. Hodge now with his 4th board. He'll dribble out of the pressure back to the near sideline left in front of the Taskovich band. Comes up top, nobody coming out on him. Throws a 3 out the front of the rim, bounces around and falls in thanks to a screen from Henderson on the left side of the arc. Took a few seconds for that to drop through. Hodge now with 7 points, and the Eagles only pick up their 2nd tray of the ball game. And now a timeout on the court. Your Eagles had their biggest lead of the contest, 18, 60-42 over the Wildcats of Clovis. 4:59 remaining, fourth quarter. Back in 30 on the Hobbs Eagle Network and also on the radio in Clovis, 99.9 FM and 1240 AM. Back to fourth quarter action here at Task Arena. The one area the Eagles have had an issue with this season, at least in district, is the three-point shot. Hobbs able to get 22 three-pointers up to this game, and then 32 for their opponents in district, so 10 more for the opponents. Tonight, same deal. Clovis does have more three-pointers. They've hit 4, Hobbs only 2, but yet an 18-point lead for the Eagles, 60-42, with 4:55 remaining in the fourth. Into the front court after the timeout, Clifton Brown. Bad pass to the right wing. Hodge will pick it off. 10 turnover. He goes with the reverse layup, left to right underneath the rim and puts it through. Hodge now with 9 points. It's a 20-point lead, the biggest of the game. Going to the other end. Fade away from the right baseline. Cox no good. Soria rips it down to the right block. His 2nd rebound. He'll take the dribble through the timeline. Taking on Cox, the man he got it from. Over to Hodge, wide open for a 3 left off the front of the rim. Ball knocked around and coming down with it is Beatty. Chases it on the right side. Cross court left to Pena. Fakes it. Shot from the left base, fires over to Turbiatis, right corner, fade away 3, hard off the back of the iron, and Cox gets a rebound in that deep right corner. That's his 6th rebound. Pass back to the baseline in the backcourt to Brown. He'll take on Peyton Hodge, stop and go dribble, dribbles behind his back, now in the front court. He'll back it in against Hodge, top of the circle. One-hand bounce pass to Cox, fakes a 3 on the right, gets his D to come up on him, dumps it down low to the right block, fade away for the big kid who puts it through on a little point-blank range shot underneath. That was Clinton. He's got 5. Eagles still up by 18, though. Into the front court is Soria, 62-44. Slowing it down to run clock with 3:45 remaining. Dribbling through his legs is Soria. Unloads to Hobbs on the right wing, to Pena on the right elbow. Jab step, shot over the top of the big kid, Clinton, and puts it right through the rack. Big hot shot there for Pena. He's got 23 now. To the other end, fadeaway jumper, left block for Cox off the rim. Tipped around. Clinton tries to go back up on the double clutch, left block, and is fouled. Clinton now with his 10th rebound, 5 points, so a little far away from the double-double. 64-44, Hobbs by 20. They call that foul on the Eagles. Lyric Soria just his first, 3rd team foul. And Clinton on the line is 1 of 2. As a team, Clovis 8 of 11 for 72%. Hobbs 10 of 17 for 58%. Can you believe it? The Eagles have more free throw attempts than their opponents so far. First shot is off the back of the rim, no good for Clinton. We mentioned on Tuesday, the Eagles definitely a major deficit. 42 free throw attempts for Roswell, just 10 for the Hobbs Eagles on the road. 20-point lead after that miss by Clinton. He'll get one more, and this one's off the rim hard. Chased down by Turbiatis in the right corner, lost his footing. The ball gets knocked out, kind of juggling it and trying to keep his feet in. Looked like a Super Bowl wide receiver there that time, and trying to tiptoe and just couldn't get the grip. Will be Clovis basketball, deep right corner of their front court. Inbounding will be Cox. Jumping in the air is Hodge, bounces it into the right wing, right next to him to Clinton. Clinton guarded by Turbiatis, drives the paint, tries to swing it down to the right block. It's taken away on the baseline by Turbiatis, and that'll be the 11th Clovis turnover. Gives it off to Hodge, middle of the court, stop and go, crossover through his legs to the right wing, hand off to Pena with 3:05 remaining. Eagles by 20. He'll drive baseline right, wrap around pass to McGahey, left corner for 3! Amari McGahey drains it. His first bucket of the game and the 3rd tray for the Eagles. To a 23-point lead, the biggest of the game for the home team here at Tasker Arena, 67-44. Here comes Brown down the lane to the other end, right side, and lays it in for 2. He got right through the Eagle defenders, kind of flat-footed. 14 for Clifton Brown. A 21-point game. Into the front court, Pena. Stop and go to the right wing. He'll back it out. Now he's going to go again. Goes to the rack, high-flying layup with a finger roll right side. He gets bodied up in the air. Ball knocks off the back of the rim, but he's going to get 2 free throws out of it. They're trying to extend this to a 23-point ball game. That'll be Clovis's 3rd team foul. And they call that on Michael Clinton. He's 1 away from DQ with 4 fouls now. And Pena on the charity stripe. 7 of 8 from the line. Eagles shooting 58% as a team, 10 of 17. First one good for Pena. 24 points for Pena. That means he's past Jaden Cox now with 22 for Clovis. Eagles have 10 for Braddock Beatty, 9 for Hodge. Second shot good for Pena. 25 points for Abraham Pena. And it's now 69-46, matching the biggest lead at 23. 2:28 remaining. Into the front court. Crossover move for Brown through his legs behind his back. Top of the circle. Turriata's going to step out on him now. Stripped away from behind by Pena in the pickpocket. He's going to go to the other end and a double hand jam on the right side of the rim. 27 for Pena, 12 Clovis turnovers. Your Eagles up by 25, the biggest of the game. Going to the other end. Arching layup on the right side is swatted by Henderson, but I think they might have got McGahey from behind before he got to the rack with it that time. As Henderson said, I didn't even come close to going on anybody's arm here. So wait to see if that is the foul. Yep, that'll go against McGahey, his first 14 foul, a shooting foul nonetheless. And that's going to put on the line Clifton Brown. He is 0 for 2 so far on the charity stripe. 14 points though. 1 of 2 players with double digits for the Wildcats. First shot is up, and it is off the front of the rim, no good. He'll get one more. Wildcats do have a win over a 5A opponent this year, and a good win, too, over number 9 Santa Fe. Beat them by 13. But that's really the only quality 5A win that they've got this season. They are 8-12 heading into this game. Second shot, hard off the back of the rim, no good. Chased down on the near left sideline by Turbiatis, his 6th board. Underhands it up top to Pena with 2 minutes. Drives the lane. Reverse left, finger roll off the left rim, no good. Rebound Henderson, his 10th. Kick out left wing to McGahey, his 3 off the back of the iron. And underneath the hoop for the rebound for the Wildcats. We had a sub that just checked in. And that man with the rebound was Kyson Ulabari, his first. Pass down to the right corner, 3 on the way for Gutierrez, and he nails it. Ethan Gutierrez, his first point of the ball game, his three, I should say, fifth three-pointer for Clovis, 71-49. Eagles up by 22. Into the front court comes Pena on lows to McGahey on the right wing. Dribbles up top, gives it back to Pena left side in front of the Hobbs Eagles student section and the cheerleaders. Screen from Turbiatis. And we got a timeout on the baseline. Coach Ross wants a quick one here. Looks like he wants to get in a sub for the Eagles, and that's going to be one of the seniors, Brock Beatty, getting some 121 time for him in the game. That's why he called the timeout. We'll keep it right here, 71-49. Your Eagles up by 22. Going to run their district record to 4-1 after the loss on Tuesday. Of course, the Roswell Coyotes and Carlsbad Cavemen are going at it tonight. We'll try to get a score update on that one. Plus the Hobbs Lady Eagles in action as well. They're playing in Clovis. Clovis much improved over the last couple of seasons in girls basketball as well. Eagles will be next on the road on next Friday night. That's a week from tonight, final district game, as they'll be taking on the Carlsbad Cavemen, a team they already beat this season. Again, we'll try to have a final for you on that Roswell-Carlsbad matchup tonight as the inbound comes to Pena near the timeline in the front court. 1:18 remaining. Gives it over to Beatty on the left wing. Brock Beatty's going to fire for three and hits it. Big shot for the guy that just got off the bench. Brock Beatty with the first tray of the game for him, and points, fourth tray for the Eagles. Good job for Coach Ross to get him in. Shot from the right baseline for Cox is blocked by Henderson, but Cox gets it back. His seventh rebound. Tries the right block, fadeaway air ball. Saved on the left baseline as it's pulled down, but a bad throw to Gahey, who gets the steal at half court. Goes backdoor to Henderson with a double hand jam. Henderson has just got his ninth point. That was the 13th Clovis turnover. Eagles by 26, their biggest lead, 75-49. 38 seconds remaining in the front court. On the right elbow, off the dribble, Brown. Down to the left corner. Three on the way for Ulibari off the back of the rim. Rebound, Pena in transition. That was his 10th rebound. Dribbles to the left corner and spins out of the pressure. Does it up top to Henderson. Wasn't ready for it. He fumbles the ball at half court. Gets booted by a Clovis player too. And sails out to the baseline in the backcourt. Did they call the backcourt violation first? It looked like Henderson might have had his foot on that half court line when he touched it. Yeah, they're going to give it to Clovis. That will be an Eagle turnover. Their sixth of the ball game. 21.3 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Eagles getting their fourth win of the district schedule. Inbound to the backcourt to Clifton Brown. Dribbles up top, throws up a three, and it's off the back of the rim. Ball tipped around, pulled down on the left baseline by Ulibari. Dribbles to the free throw line, pivots, shot, double clutch rejected by Beatty. Pulled down to the rebound for Pena on the right elbow. That's his 11th board. He's got a double-double now. One hands it back to Beatty. Shot from three, NBA distance, right side at the buzzer. It's no good. But the Hobbs Eagles with a big win over Clovis here at home by 26, 75-49. The Eagles are going to pick up their 21st win of the season on 4 losses. Clovis drops to 8-13. Eagles now 4-1 in district. Clovis at 0-5. We will take a 3-minute break, come back with a Hobbs Eagle post-game show live at Hobbs on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and Coal 95.7's Facebook page, on the radio at Coal 95.7, and in Clovis at 99.9 FM and 1240 AM. Welcome back to the Hobbs Eagle postgame show here at Tasker Arena. Your Hobbs Eagles victorious tonight, 75-49, winning by 26. Last time these two teams played, Hobbs had 75 points and Clovis 49, so Hobbs added 4 more points on the board this time. Clovis was 10 points shy of what they had at their home court. Let's look at the numbers in the contest. First for the Wildcats, the travel team. Jaden Cox, like he was the first time around, the leading scorer for Clovis. He had 22 points. He was perfect on the charity stripe, 6 of 6, and hit 2 3-pointers, had 7 rebounds. So definitely doing a yeoman's work in terms of offense for Clovis. Also in double figures, Clifton Brown. He finished up with 12 points, but had some issues on the free throw line. Went 0 for 4, but did hit 2 trays for Clovis and 5 rebounds. So Cox and Brown combined for 36 of the Clovis Wildcats, 49 points, a majority of the scoring in this game. In fact, Clovis only had 5 scorers in the game. Also on the scoreboard was Michael Clinton. He finished with 5 points, 1 of 4 from the charity stripe, and had 10 rebounds, so he was the top boardman for Clovis. It was Jake Brown coming off the bench for 3 points, 1 of 1 in the line, and 3 rebounds. And also Ethan Gutierrez late in the game hit a tray for 3 points. J.J. Seiss with 1 bucket for 2 and 2 rebounds. Other people that didn't score, Luke Carpenter had 4 rebounds of note. And also it was 2 boards for Kyson Ulibari. Rod Cabledew had a rebound too, and Joseph Cavazos. In terms of free throw shooting, Clovis 8 of 15 for 53%. They finished with 33 rebounds, 10 less than the Hobbs Eagles at 43. Top man on the boards again, Clinton with 10, 7 for Cox, 5 for Clifton Brown, and 4 for Luke Carpenter, the leaders there. Clovis had 13 turnovers, only 6 for the Eagles, so they had 7 more turnovers in the ball game. A lot of those happening in the third quarter, second and third quarters for Clovis. So those are the numbers for the Clovis Wildcats. And also I should mention 2 3-pointers out. They did have 5, which was 1 more than the Eagles in this ball game. Hobbs Eagles had some scoring going on. Big time for Abraham Pena. 27 points in the contest. Almost perfect from the charity stripe. 9 of 10 for 90%. Also ripped down 11 rebounds, making it a double-double for Abraham Pena. And he's not always known for the rebounds, but tonight he was big time in that first half especially, ripping down the glass. And now with that big number, 27. Of course, he came into the contest in the district, averaging 22.3 a game, so he is about 5 points better than that in tonight's contest. Big game for Abraham Pena. And again, Tuesday night was coming down, a couple games back, coming down from some injuries too. The last game here at Tasker Arena before going to Roswell on Tuesday. Also in double digits was Braddock Beatty with 10 points, 6 rebounds. Having a real consistent game for him, some steals and getting the ball up the court as well. He was the only other guy in double digits. A couple other people, though, real close to that. Parker Henderson was 1 point away from a double-double. He had 9 points, went 1 of 5 from the free throw line, so could have picked up his extra point there, unfortunately, but had 10 rebounds. So a consistent game for him. Did get some dunks in the contest, and that big 7-footer is a presence in the paint. Peyton Hodge finishing with 9 points. He had 4 rebounds and was 0 for 2 from the line. Did hit a 3-pointer. And finished up again just 1 point shy of the double digits in the game. Jairus Turbiatis, kind of a quiet game for him, but still getting 6 rebounds and 6 points. It was Josiah Clay with 5 points, including a tray, also 2 rebounds for the Eagles. Amari McGahey coming off the bench for a tray and 3 points. Lyric Soria hit both of his free throws, went 2 for 2, 2 points and 2 boards. Amron Wheeler, the sophomore, off the bench for a bucket and 1 rebound. And that's pretty much it for the Eagles scoring. They had 9 players. Actually, I forgot Brock Beatty, senior, coming off the bench late. He had a tray for the Eagles as well. Hobbs converted on 4 3-pointers in the ball game. 10 scores in the contest for Hobbs, again compared to just 5 for Clovis. Eagles did the rebounding majority too, 43-33 in this ball game, led by Abraham Pena's 11 boards, Parker Henderson with 10. Love to see those guys combining for 21 rebounds. It was 6 apiece for Turbiatis and Beatty in this one as well, and Peyton Hodge with 4. Eagles went 10 of 7, or make it 12 of 19. 12 of 19 from the charity stripe for 63% in this ball game. And only had 6 turnovers again compared to 13 for the Clovis Wildcats. The scoring in the game tied at 12 at the end of 1. Eagles got a 9-point lead at the half as they outscored Clovis 20-11 in the second quarter. Third quarter, it was 17 apiece for both squads, so Hobbs holding on to a 9-point lead at the end of the third, 49-40. And in the fourth, Hobbs dumping in a total of 26 points and just 9 for Clovis. Thus, the 26-point win, 75-49 in favor of the Eagles. That, of course, gets them up to their 21st win of the season as they improve with that out of 25 games now and go to 4-1 in district as Clovis drops to 8-13 and 0-5 in district. Now, taking a look at the other contests that are going around the area for the Hobbs Lady Eagles, big win in Clovis tonight at Rock Stavis Gym. They win by 28 points over Clovis, 69-41. So the Hobbs Lady Eagles and Coach Carpenter are now undefeated in district as they run their record of 5-0. A great job on the road. And Clovis is a very well-improved team over the last few seasons, so they might be a contender there in the district tournament. But right now it's going to be the Hobbs Lady Eagles, the regular season champs, it appears, and will have the automatic punch ticket for the first round at least of the state tournament. So great job for the Hobbs Lady Eagles picking up that victory. We're still trying to check on the game tonight. Roswell and Clovis going at it back-to-back. Of course, a very important game for Hobbs, kind of waiting to see if maybe Carlsbad can get a pickoff on that one to get the Eagles back into that number one slot. Of course, Roswell defeating Hobbs on Tuesday night, tied up the record at 3-1. Still no score coming in on that contest, unfortunately, so we'll have to wait and see how that transpires. So the Hobbs Eagles again with the big win tonight over Clovis, 75-49, winning by 26. And that means next week, the finale, at least for the regular season of district, Hobbs will be on the road as they will take on Carlsbad on Friday. So they'll have a whole week to prepare for that contest against the Carlsbad Cavemen. Of course, the Eagles defeated them the first time that they met, and they would like to add another one to that win column. The district game that they won was 49-46, so a very close contest. Eagles had a 10-point lead at the end of second quarter, the halftime lead, 38-25 at the end of the third quarter, so up by 13. And then the fourth quarter, things kind of fell apart as Carlsbad had 21 points in the fourth quarter. The Eagles only finished up with 11, so a big differential there in the fourth. Carlsbad came screeching back in that contest, but still 3 shy. They did have a shot towards the end of the game that could have tied it up from 3, but they could not convert that one. Both teams double digits on turnovers, 15 for the Eagles, 14 for Carlsbad. Hobbs was able to convert on 3-pointers, 3 total, and Carlsbad hit 5 in that game. So Carlsbad had the advantage. That's been the way the season has gone, too. Hobbs has been outshot on the 3-point line, but still have quite a few victories regardless in that. So that's about it here from Ralph Tasker Arena. We'll have that final district game next Friday in Carlsbad, 6:45 pregame, and again the tip-off at 7. That game will be here on the radio, Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. And for all the Clovis fans listening to us in Wildcat Land on the radio at 99.9 FM and 1240 AM, thanks for tuning in. Try to keep it as well-rounded as possible there. I know fans don't want to hear a homer job every time they tune into a game, but we do like our Hobbs Eagles down here, but we love having fans just tune in for the contest regardless. Like to thank Manuel back at the station, always doing a great job technically for us back there. Jessica Friend on our scoreboard and Allison Friend on the video tonight. Until next Friday night at 6:45, hope you have a great Valentine's night out there. Don't eat too much chocolate. Adios.
Clear.
Thanks a lot, Manuel.
You're welcome.
Good job.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.